All right, so I'm sure you've heard by now, because the whole world's heard by now, Joe Biden has been diagnosed with aggressive cancer that has metastasized into his bones. So let's call it for what it is. It's a terminal diagnosis. It's terminal cancer. The chance of him living a year is not great. They're going to tell you all sorts of things, but isn't it convenient that just in time to stave off all the conversations about the Robert Hur recording that has just been released, where Joe Biden doesn't know when he was vice president, doesn't know when his son Bo died, doesn't know when Donald Trump was elected president.
Yes, celebrated cartoonist Scott Adam revealed that he has the same prostate cancer as Joe. I have the same cancer that Joe has. I also have prostate cancer that has also spread to my bones. My life expectancy is maybe the summer. I watched this video a fair time, yeah, to actually hear him say this. When you see this whole situation, like people are getting up reacting to this is as a result of what came out from Joe's doctor.
Yes. Some of you have already guessed, so this won't surprise you at all. But I have the same cancer that Joe Biden has. So I also have prostate cancer that has also spread to my bones. But I've had it longer than he's had it. Well, longer than he's admitted having it. So my life expectancy is maybe the summer. I expect to be checking out from this domain sometime this summer. Now,
Terminal diagnosis. It's terminal cancer. The chance of him living a year is not great. They're going to tell you all sorts of things, but isn't it convenient that just in time to stave off all the conversations about the Robert Hur recording that has just been released, where Joe Biden doesn't know when he was vice president, doesn't know when his son Bo died, doesn't know when Donald Trump was elected president, it is completely obvious that everything we said for years and years about Joe Biden is exactly true. He had no ability to run this country, which is why we had the auto pen. So just in time for that, we get this terminal diagnosis of cancer. You can't pick on a guy who's got cancer. Look, when I talk about Joe Biden I'm not taking shots at Joe Biden. I'm taking shots at everybody around him, Jen Psaki and all the people that protected Joe Biden. I'm talking about little Chuck Todd. I'm talking about Jake Tapper. I'm talking about all the dishonest sons of his in the media and all the lion holes around him in the White House. I'm not taking a shot at Joe Biden. I feel sorry for the man. Nobody wants to face a cancer diagnosis. But one more thing about that. Didn't he just have a complete physical last year? Didn't they check his PSA numbers just last year? And yet somehow, within 1 year, it's gone from aggressive into his bones, metastasized. I think they may have known this as well. Terminal cancer for Joe Biden, that's what I'm going to call it. Just in time to get the conversation away from the fact that he was in no condition to run the country for 4 years, period, paragraph.
Yes, it is wild to see Democrat supporters now admitting the party cover up Joe's condition. It was obvious to anyone actually watching him. I did a couple of videos about this whole situation. News came out like Joe was not okay. Nobody was accepting. It came out yesterday that he was diagnosed with cancer, aggressive one for that matter. When I look at the whole situation and the reactions I'm seeing on social media, mixed reactions. Some people say Joe was sick all throughout.
Anybody who cares about this country and about just the dynamics of power, this is the emperor's new clothes playing itself out in real time. Everybody knew, but everyone was afraid to say, except for David Axelrod for 2 years, that something was wrong here. And so, I was shocked. I love Joe Biden. I don't like him. I love him. I got a chance to work with him when I was a part of the Obama administration and loved him more every day. I was shocked to see his condition when he came out, and so was the world. And that wasn't the first time he was in that condition. The book makes it very, very clear. There are people who knew and said nothing. And that is a crime against this republic. And I think the Democrats are going to pay for a long time for being a part of what is now being revealed to be a massive cover-up.
So he's talking about Jake Tapper's new book that's coming out. But this isn't like a super conservative guy. As you can see, he quite literally said he loves Joe Biden. Van Jones is not Team Trump. He is coming out here and saying what has been obvious to most of us. Well, I shouldn't say most of us. The people who don't perpetually believe whatever the Democrats tell them. The people who can think independently, or even just people who don't subscribe to only Democratic media propaganda. Joe Biden struggling was very obvious if you looked and paid attention. You didn't even have to pay attention hard. You just had to look and you could see, oh yeah, he's struggling. But Democrats were telling you he's running around in the Oval Office, juggling knives, doing all types of crazy stuff. Oh, he's with it. He's the smartest man. He's blah, 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 blah. He's so fast, I can't keep up with him, all this stuff. They were gaslighting us. And I say they're gaslighting us not because I've read the book, because I haven't. I don't even know if the book is out yet. I'm just saying they were gaslighting us because I have eyes. I could see the man struggle to talk. I could see the man struggle to walk. I could see the man fall down multiple times, unnecessarily. I could see how he was stiff and could barely move. I could see how he has this confused, dazed look whenever he was places. And Democrats would look you square in the face and tell you, no, nothing is wrong. I actually might buy this book. I'm going to be curious to see. But to me, it's another sign. These people are not honest. These people do not care about what's best for the American people. These people care about winning. I think they care about a couple of things. I think they care about virtue signaling moral superiority. I think they care about feeling morally superior. And I think they care about winning. And I think they care more about those things than they care about actually doing good, actually helping people. And I think it's becoming more and more obvious if you pay attention. But I do think it's good that this is coming back to light and that it's getting attention. So yeah, we'll see how this plays out. Should be interesting.
Yes. Do you know what actually get me irritated when I see these people talking like this? The mainstream media knew everything, but they continue to push the narrative like Joe was okay. When you look at old videos of Jack Tapper sitting here talking try, he was there, oh, Biden is fit to run for 4 more years. When I see people say, no, Biden is not fit, these people will take it out of context and report in a way to suit that narrative. Now, it is coming out just when the media started talking about Biden. He was everywhere on social media. Boom. Now, stories are dropping everywhere, extremely concerning. Why will we continue to do this every time? This is a call for concern.
Yesterday, President Biden revealed he's been diagnosed with an aggressive form of prostate cancer. And of course, we all wish you a very rapid recovery, and we're thinking of you and of your family. There's lots of claims of health cover-up, and when the Bidens were here, they kind of addressed that. So will this cancer diagnosis add fuel to the fire, or should politics be put aside for a minute and just let's get through this?
I'll just say, I think he was, what he said, cancer touches us all, when he posted this on social media, is so true. I'm sure that every single person in this audience and at this table knows someone who has had cancer, is a survivor of cancer, or has died from cancer. One of my best friends died from breast cancer and colon cancer. And so I think that the majority of U.S. families will feel for the Bidens. I don't think this is a time for politics, but what I will say is that this administration has cut cancer funding research by 31% since 2025. And the U.S., for being such a wealthy country, seems to be cutting cancer research not only for our elderly, our men, but also our children. And I think that's so despicable and so disdainful. And I hope perhaps something good comes from this diagnosis, that we will continue funding cancer research, because it's very, very important.
Trump reportedly did in 2024 at 78. Biden hadn't, and I guess some doctors don't recommend you do in your 70s. We need to revisit that, because if they had caught this sooner, he might be with us a lot longer. And I feel like we need more answers on why it wasn't detected sooner.
Yes, these people are insane. Sonny Austin is just starting politics on something they are struggling not to politicize. Listening to Whoopi said, I really wish they should not politicize this. Sonny Austin jumped in, start blaming the Trump administrations for doing this, doing that. You can see the hypocrite. Sometimes when I watch this lady,
There's a lot of outrage over the release of the new book called Original Sin, President Biden's Decline.
If you've not subscribed to this channel, please endeavor to do that. It will do you no harm if you share the video.
No. I think that I want to move on from why the Democratic Party lost, and I want to hear from the Democratic Party about how we are going to take our country back and how what they are going to do to combat fascism and what they're going to do to stop the Medicaid cuts that are going on, to stop giving tax cuts to billionaires, to stop taking federal workers' pensions away, to stop.
Thank you guys who has been there sharing out my videos. God bless you abundantly. And don't stop to support me.
I'm horrified. And we're back to our daily segment.
If you're having some issues in your marriage
and actually found a way to bitch and moan about how hard it is to live in the White House.
When you walk through a storm, keep your head held high. Show.
Big debate going on. Think of Donald Trump's post this morning alleging that since I said I hate Taylor Swift, will prevail.
It also shouldn't be racial.
Require Carmelo to run. He had
100.
Has been overwhelming. The lies in their amplification.
This is not going to end. Right is right and wrong is wrong. All good.
If you see any clips after this, that is just for the YouTube algorithm.
What if he says self-defense?
There's no self-defense. The kids in here and resolve this issue is called conflict resolution.
Again, the evidence is still coming in.
This is definitely a self-defense case because it always is one until you look at the facts of the case and compare the two. You have to compare who was the initial aggressor.
Bedroom, because she's fearful of what might happen to her.
Followers for anything. And then the
Registration Act is
talking about this man, Killmonger.
My summary of the first 100 days is that
if film and TV productions continue to
first term, and you will be very.
Once again, the field was littered with Wintour does every year. This Carmelo Anthony case.
Live in the White House. Many people
like a little unhinged drunk.
And black people don't want to live around ratchet black.
Those who continue to